Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and with me as always is Scribe. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
You okay over there?
Yeah. Sorry, I was moving around. I had to turn my fan on. I was getting stuffy in here.
Okay.
Okay, I was about
And the
to say, I was
lovely,
like, it just sounded like somebody almost died.
I know, right? The
No, no,
Sorry.
lovely
no.
Esteban
Somebody
is
almost
joining us as well.
somebody
Hello.
somebody
Hello.
almost dying is like this.
You just did it right before we started, and I
Sorry.
almost laughed. And
I
no,
thought I
you're
thought
fine.
I,
You're
I
fine.
thought I had that one beat before it went live to like move over, turn my fan on, and come back, and I was just like,
No,
oops, took too long.
you didn't.
I know. Sorry.
That intro went well.
I ruined
You did
Christmas.
one of my better ones. So, how is everybody tonight?
I'm good. What did I do today?
I'm doing all right. It's apparently Sunday is migraine day for me because I had a migraine earlier that I slept off, thankfully. It's just a little sore now. But I was like, good God, am I going to miss another stream because of a migraine? But thankfully not.
Oh.
But yeah, it's apparently Sunday is just my migraine day, I guess now.
Anything going on before
How
we
are,
get into the news?
well, how are you, Monkey?
Sore but happy, so
Okay.
they even out. Guys, before we do get into the news, we have to say Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, and smash that like button if you would, please.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to
Okay.
contribute to Monkey's fortunes, there's a little dollar sign there in the bottom left of the chat box that would be very much appreciated by Monkey and Little Monkey, because Little Monkey needs shoes.
She is so cute. Anytime we took her to the store tonight, and if you ask her like what should we go look at, and she goes, I probably think we need to look at babies.
What?
I probably think we need to look at babies.
I probably think we need to look at
Does
babies.
she want another one?
Yeah.
Oh yes, she has. I don't know if you guys know what water babies are, but they make little water babies, and there's like 12 different ones. And
It's a
not
water
only does
baby.
she baby filled with water, has a very soft body, and they're cool, but she
Okay.
doesn't like the big ones. She likes the little ones, the minis. And she has all the whole set and duplicates of many of them, because anytime we go, she has to get one of those babies.
Oh, I would have liked this as a kid.
Oh, this child has so many baby dolls.
I had so many baby dolls as a kid. I fucking like loved my baby dolls.
Oh, she does. And only two of her baby dolls have names. One of them is named Tupac. Seriously, it's a big white baby. And as a joke, one time my oldest son said, "What's your baby's name?" And she just kind of looked at him. She goes, "Is it Tupac?" And his name's been Tupac ever since. And then she had another one that just in the car she named Pockin. I don't know what that means, but she does love her babies. Anyway, yeah. So if you'd like to donate to the Grand Monkey Needs a New Baby every time she goes to the store fund, hit that dollar sign. I'd appreciate it. Anyway,
yes, ladies and gentlemen, contribute to Monkey buying babies on the open market.
Remember, you can't buy pirate wenches anymore, so at least we can still buy babies.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Disney, for being so progressive.
Indeed. What do we have for news, Scribbles?
Well, it's kind of weird because CNN has made a headline out of essentially a documentary news article. I'm not going to read it because it's more of a video than anything else, but the general gist is there is a warning that ISIS is looking to make headway more so than they already have into the Philippines.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
They got this long, they have an insider from the group down there is called Filipino Jihadi Abu Sayyaf Group, or the ASG, and they've held the city of Marawi, city of 200,000 people, for over a month, defiantly facing down government troops and daily airstrikes. This is all going on right now in the Philippines. There's like a super duper battle going on with ISIS, apparently. And there's just a warning that it's probably going to get worse, and the Philippines might be the next big headway for ISIS taking over stuff, which is scary as hell.
How the hell is this going on in the Philippines with our naval base right there?
I don't know exactly. Like I said, this is a long and complicated sort of biographical documentary article. I'll put a link in the
Huh.
description for people if they want to take a look at it. I'm not quite. I was trying to look around and see if I could find something that was a bit more concise for the sake of the stream, but not yet. So I'll keep an eye open, and if anybody else can find like a more news-ish story on the whole thing. I only found this just by CNN putting it up as their headline. But elsewise, CNN doesn't have anything sort of like headline worthy right now. So there's not a lot going on in the news. And of course, if somebody has something different elsewise, by all means, let me know. But I got a couple of stories, a couple of things that caught my attention.
Before we get into that,
Mhm.
this was brought to my attention yesterday. Somebody asked a question over and over and over, and we missed it. And I was asked if we would address it.
Okay.
Which is each of our favorite movie monster?
Oh, thank you, Krampus. I don't have to work tonight. Ronk. Scrubs reference. Do you get that, monkey? Ronk. Ronk.
It's very familiar to me, and I'm drawing a blank, and that makes me feel horrible because I love Scrubs.
So favorite movie monster?
Yeah, for me, I don't know if this counts as a monster, but I would have to go with Freddy. I fucking love Freddy.
Yeah. Freddy's a good one, but the first one I always go to is The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. Because that
SDA?
is 17 monsters
sorry.
in one. That's good.
I like the abominable snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Aw.
Well, I didn't want to disappoint by being like, I don't know about monster movies, so yeah, and that's a monster in a
At least
movie.
you gave a.
So I thought I'd go for it.
Thank you, Crit Pick. We don't have a base there anymore. We pulled out decades ago. If you're talking about Subic Bay, we have a bi-yearly training with them now. Aha.
That's all we have left over there. Holy crap! I haven't been
Wow.
directly around the Navy in a long time, so yeah. Holy shit! We need to get back into Subic Bay and send the Marines in there and deal with this shit.
All right.
I've always said cryptic, and you're right. I've been saying that wrong. I am so sorry.
Crit pick. Okay. So as far as news, quote unquote, stories, the first one that caught my attention was the headline that CNN put on was "Crossing the Border for Toilet Paper."
I'm sorry, what?
That was the headline they put on the teaser on the front page. As we get to the actual article, it reads like this: "For struggling Venezuelans, relief lies just across the bridge in Colombia." Okay. And again, I haven't read this yet, so I don't know, but it's there. We'll see. A short bridge that connects Venezuela and Colombia offers a vital lifeline for thousands of people who cross between the two countries every day. Okay. The Puente Internacional Simón Bolívar has become a relief route for Venezuelans facing a humanitarian crisis on the other side of the border. It's a meltdown fueled by the highest inflation rate in the world, ongoing unrest, and violent street protests. The crisis has been years in the making. Yeah, we've talked before about sort of like the craziness going on in Venezuela.
Yeah.
So I guess this is part of that. Each day, the bridge to Colombia sees a steady stream of people, a mix of young and old, alone and in family groups, cross back and forth looking for basic supplies. Most are carrying empty suitcases or a handful of plastic bags as they cross into Colombia. On the return trip, the bags brim with goods they can't get at home: chocolate milk and toilet paper. Okay, that's sad. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this story except it's really, really sad. It's just
this Venezuela, ever since Chavez died, he was not a good person to begin with.
No, not at all.
But they have just completely, and I don't want to give him too much credit, but at least while he was alive, he was able to keep things going in the general right direction. Because of the things he did is the reason everything fell apart. And I feel so bad for them right now. I really do.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you get the sorry.
I was gonna say let me do the super chats here real quick. Falcon Millennial, thank you so much. We had a US CG cutter there a few months ago. Assuming that's in Subic Bay in the Philippines. Stubber 13, did you guys follow up on the D. Kari Penbecker Facebook drama?
I'll look it up.
I'm not even sure what that
What's a
is.
Dakari Pembeck drama?
I'll look it up and see. if I even remember what that is. And then finally, my crazy opinion. Thank you so much. I got a video idea from you guys last night about she's saying why we shouldn't celebrate the 4th of July. I found one call why Black people should not celebrate the 4th. Oh, I'd be interested to see it.
That's interesting.
Sorry, I got to read that again.
So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt what you were saying before.
I found one call. Why Black people? I don't understand what one call is.
I think he means one called.
A
video called.
I see. Okay. Sorry,
or not. I could be wrong. If I'm
brain
wrong about
got-
that, please correct me.
I can't find anything about Facebook and Carrie Pennebaker. Carrie Pennebaker is a Democratic delegate from Wisconsin, but I don't know what I can't find anything specifically on Facebook drama. So if you can if you have a link or something, it might help out. What was I going to say? I was going to say something and then it went away. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say something about like the conundrum of the benevolent dictator and how, yes, when he's in place, everything can be awful, but also productive at the same time. But since they make themselves the keystone of the entire operation, as soon as they're gone, everything falls to shit.
Yes. Well, and with him, the way he kept things going was by slowly taking over all private business. And eventually you run out of those private businesses to take over.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So eventually the money does dry up.
Well, we do have a somewhat serious story. I don't know. I don't understand why this isn't getting more press, I suppose. At least I didn't see anything on CNN. But French media is reporting 8 injured in shooting near mosque in Paris. And of course, the AP suddenly refreshes the page for me. Thank you, AP, assholes. Okay. French media reports say 8 people have been injured in a shooting near a mosque in the southern city of Avignon in what appears to be a criminal settling of scores. Oh, okay. Local magistrate Larue Chabaud was quoted by La Provence and La Dauphine Libéré. I don't even know how to say this stuff. I'm butchering France. Not France, but French. Although I know a little French. I surrender. But anyway, as saying the mosque did not appear to be the target of the Saturday night shooting. Oh, well, it's not much ado about nothing, but it's not a terrorist attack, apparently. The shooting comes as France's government prepares to extend a state of emergency in place since Islamic extremist attacks in 2015, citing continued threats. Yeah, so they're on high alert, but apparently it was not terrorist motivated. But I guess maybe that's why it's not being reported.
I'm really interested in what's going on with Kari.
Yeah,
I can't
really
find
want to know
anything.
Yeah, I found out who the man is. I don't see anything about Facebook drama unless it's something that's just not newsworthy quite yet. Okay, and as far as, again, slow news day otherwise, but this one caught my attention and I wasn't quite sure what it was about, so I thought I'd read it. I'm a creep. I'm sorry. Another tech investor apologizes for mistreating women. Yeah. Another powerful tech investor is apologizing for his inappropriate behavior toward women in the industry. Quote, I made advances towards multiple women in work-related situations where it was clearly inappropriate. Dave McClure, the co-founder of accelerator and investment firm 500 Startups, wrote in a post he titled, I'm a creep, I'm sorry. A day earlier, Shark Tank star and venture capitalist Chris Sacca, an early investor in Twitter and Uber, admitted he has contributed to tech's sexist culture. The admissions come on the heels of a disturbing story about binary capital investor Justin Caldbeck. 6 female founders, 3 of whom were identified by name, shared stories of interactions with Caldbeck with the information. Is the information a publication? Because they capitalized it here. I don't know. Just over a week ago, the story lit a fire in Silicon Valley, prompting more women to come forward with their stories of tech's problematic power dynamics. McClure is the latest to be at the center of this issue. On Friday, the New York Times reported that McClure, 51, acted inappropriately towards Sarah Kunst, who was seeking a job at 500 Startups in 2014. According to the Times, McClure sent Kunst a Facebook message that read, quote, I was getting confused figuring out whether to hire you or to hit on you, unquote. Oh, no. Awful. because just from personal experience, I have seen women in the workplace do worse than that towards male employees.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Give me a break. I mean, it's not that it's appropriate, not that it's okay, but this is just people being people in situations. It's just
fuck this. I'm tired of that. It's not appropriate. Okay, fine. Maybe it's not appropriate. No, this is because it's not just hitting on women. It's also sexual jokes. It's anything that could in any way offend somebody in a possibly sex-related way.
Mm-hmm.
And they've taken workplaces and made them even more fucking boring than they used to be. And
thank you. Sorry.
The justification is always that, oh, it's not appropriate to be doing that. Go fuck yourself. If people are having a good time and getting their work done, fuck off. I don't care. As long as you are not being abusive about it, I don't care. I don't.
Thank you, my crazy opinion. Sorry, yes, SDA is right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I was interpreting what you were saying.
Yeah.
And then Snubbirth says, SDA, I tweeted you the Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
About Kari. So,
but yeah, like, yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things, like, you can't define pornography, but you know it when you see it, kind of thing. Difference between like sort of an artistic thing and pornography. There's inappropriate, and then there's just sort of like lame. I don't know how else to put it. If you're just being like making a lame comment or something, but then there's like, yeah, like you say, being harassive about it, being abusive about it, or if you're in some kind of power game of it, like if you want this promotion, then X has to happen with you and me or something.
Right.
But like making offhanded comments or complimenting someone's, I mean, good God, if you go to a gym and you compliment someone's figure, it's not an insult. Or you say like, wow, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it all depends on context and situation. Some things are obvious, some things are not, shouldn't be like red alerts for anything.
Well, we've taken shit too far.
Yeah.
Not every situation is the same.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And as far as like what my crazy opinion was talking about, yeah, the reason I brought that up yesterday, and like SDA thought I was like, at least for a moment, thought I was saying like, oh, we shouldn't celebrate the 4th of July. No, I was just thinking we got a patriotic holiday coming up. I bet you people are going to start coming up with reasons why we shouldn't, for name your past grievance or something.
Yeah.
And so if my crazy opinion found a video like why black people should celebrate the 4th, I just want to say I'm not surprised, because it's probably happened before, like this is why Christmas is bad or something else. It's like whatever.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But anyway, as far as like news is concerned, that's kind of everything that jumped out at me. So everybody in the chat, if you have stories that you would like us to take a look at, we're going to have plenty of time tonight for MSS News. So if you found something over the course of the day, or if there's major news that I missed because CNN is just lazy or doesn't know about it, by all means, send it to us via Twitter with the hashtag MSS News, and we will take a look. I'll keep refreshing this over the course of the next half hour or so until it comes time for YouTube stuff. But in the meantime, what do we have? Oh, we have a story from staff reporter Jonah Kai. We have a Florida woman story. Oh boy, Florida woman. What do we got here? 2 children hospitalized after eating marijuana-laced gummies. Florida woman arrested. And it is a stretch to call this person a woman, because the picture they put up make her look like she's about 14.
Oh.
But apparently she's 20. A Spring Hill woman is facing child abuse charges after deputies say 2 young children ate some of her marijuana-laced gummy bears. Sheriff's deputies say 20-year-old Bobby Lynn Johnson left 2 packages of the laced gummy bears on a living room coffee table. The packages were within reach of a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old who found them and ate them. According to the arrest report, the 3-year-old said she didn't feel good after eating several of the gummy bears. She then started to fade in and out of consciousness and was rushed to a nearby hospital. While at the hospital, the 5-year-old victim also got sick. The children were flown to All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg for care as a result of eating the gummies. A Spring Hill woman is facing child abuse charges. Yes, the one you named upwards in the article. Or did you forget that already? Story. Okay. She was arrested on 2 counts of child abuse. They don't say what the condition of the children are now. I would hope they're going to be okay, but they don't say. But yeah, great. At least he wasn't leaving them wandering around a baseball park by themselves so they could be false kidnapped by a Good Samaritan.
I have nothing against the legalization of marijuana, but shit like this makes it look bad. Dumbasses, keep your pot put up.
Yeah.
Especially if you have it in the form of a fucking gummy bear and you have little children around. Fucktard.
Let's see. Where did
at least it was marijuana. The children will probably most likely be okay from this.
Yeah, I would hope.
Ingesting it is supposed to make it much stronger, so they probably had a rough fucking night from it. But Jesus Christ, dumbass.
Okay, this next one also comes from staff reporter Jonah Kai, who's living up to his new title very well, or her title. I don't know. Is Jonah Kai male, or am I assuming genders and being a bad person now? Probably.
I think you're probably assuming genders. Jonah Kai,
Yeah.
male or female? Any or out? What do you got?
Is that the title of your next video? Jonah Kai, any or outie? Vandals hang anti-Jewish banner at Holocaust Memorial in New Jersey. Okay. Well, I'll read what the banner says in a moment. But Vandals posted a banner containing an anti-Jewish slur on a Holocaust memorial in front of a New Jersey Shore town synagogue, where several residents were recently accused of misrepresenting their incomes to improperly obtain public welfare benefits. Interesting. Photos posted online Sunday by the state chapter of the Anti-Defamation League show the covering on the memorial in Lakewood. A message on the covering included an ethnic slur for Jewish people and stated, quote, "will not divide us." Now, to provide full context, the full banner reads, "Hebes will not divide us."
Oh, and Hebes is in 3 parentheses.
Yes.
Fuckers. You assholes.
State authorities announced Sunday they were offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the conviction of those responsible. There's not much more. Oh, but there have been other things.
Presented blood and something.
Presented bloodandsoil.org. Yeah, blood and soil was a Nazi phrase to show like the unity between the German blood and the German land and that kind of thing. So that is definitely some white supremacist stuff right there.
I would check out that .org site. That's where I'd start looking. That's all I'm saying.
And apparently there's also been some flyers posted around on cars and such over the last couple of weeks. One of them says, "Thieving Jews near you, $2 million stolen." Yeah. So, yeah, lots of very happy things going on in New Jersey right now. But then again, it's New Jersey, the happiest place on earth.
Yes, yes.
Let's see, what do we have next? There was something down here and it disappeared when I refreshed the page. That's not good. Come back. Come back to me. All right, I'll go to the website because sometimes the website does it. And gives me things that the app does not. The app is weird. It's like it'll give me stories from like June 22nd, but nothing from like today.
Today.
Which I don't understand. Where did it go? There was stuff from Colleen Bernier that has disappeared now. Or I don't know where it went.
Wow. Well, this is one from Colleen Bernier.
Okay, you go ahead.
So there's a chance your fidget spinner could burst into flames. Fidget spinners have been everywhere recently. First as a novelty gadget with claims about helping kids focus, and then as a popular toy taking over classrooms and annoying teachers across the country. But now some may pose a fire hazard. 2 mothers in Michigan and Alabama reported their children's Bluetooth-enabled fidget spinners burst into flames in the past few weeks.
Why do you have a Bluetooth-enabled fidget spinner?
I don't know.
Like maybe that's your problem.
Both times the spinners were plugged into outlets, and when they caught on fire, the toys melted and burned the surfaces they were sitting on.
Okay.
We were about 5 or 10 minutes from leaving the house for the day before this happened. Kimberly Olms of Gardendale, Alabama, told WBRC, "My son noticed that it burst into flames, and he just started screaming. I was downstairs, and all I heard was fire, fire, and the fidget spinner had The fidget spinner had literally, it wasn't smoking, it was just in flames. Okay. So yeah, no smoke. It was actually on fire.
Wonderful.
Ullum said that the spinner was charging for less than 45 minutes before it caught on fire, according to WBRC.
Why is
Some have raised
it charging?
What's that?
Why is it charging?
It's Bluetooth enabled. It needs power.
To do what? I thought you just like flicked it and
I've never
don't know
had
what
a Bluetooth enabled one.
Okay.
I'll have to look. Okay. Does anybody out there have a Bluetooth enabled fidget spinner?
And so again, now I don't have a fidget spinner. It's just something that you flick with your finger to spin, right?
Yes.
It doesn't spin by itself or automatically or have a motor or anything, right?
No.
Okay, so yeah, why would a Bluetooth enabled fidget spinner? Someone's either there's a motorized one out there or this is the biggest scam the world has ever known.
Let's see. LED light, Bluetooth
light
speaker, anti-stress hand tri-spinner EDC gyro toy.
Okay.
Apparently you can get them with speakers in them.
To do what? To play music. Colleen Bernier says play music. Okay, so you have a little thing that you flick with your finger that will play music and light up for you.
Yes. And possibly burn your home down.
And that's to help you focus. Got it.
Yes. Focus.
Well, once the fire starts, you get real focused.
Boy, fidget spinners are like the latest iteration of pet rocks, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not good.
Man, I can't.
STA, did you get that story from Snubberth?
Oh, why was it sent to me? Why did you send it?
Because you're pretty.
You can, if you got it, you can tag us in it.
Yeah. While you figure that out,
it sent me to Facebook.com.
Oh, you didn't send you the link to the Facebook thing or something?
No, it just sent me. It sent me a link to Facebook.
Oh, that's not good. Well, while we figure that out, we have one more from staff reporter Jonah Kai, and this is
I'll
now.
Just send it to you guys. I mean, like it sends me to something, but it doesn't look like actual news.
Sure.
Well, this is a Florida man story. You're going to play a video, aren't you? Webpage. Yeah, you are. Okay. Florida man tired of walking steals another forklift. A Florida man who stole a forklift 2 months ago struck again, and he had the same reason. He didn't want to walk. Bradley Barefoot. That's apparently his name. Bradley Barefoot. 43
Ooh, was he a native?
I don't know. Bradley Barefoot Fortley was Bradley Barefoot Fortley 43 was coincidentally barefoot when he stole a forklift in Port Orange on Wednesday. When deputies found Barefoot, he parked the equipment in a spot for handicapped drivers. He was talking to himself while swearing and throwing his hands up, according to WKMG. Barefoot told deputies he took the vehicle because, quote, the keys were in the ignition and he was tired of walking. A similar incident happened in April when Barefoot stumbled upon a forklift in a Best Buy parking lot. He reportedly moved some boxes and then took it for a spin.
At least he was nice enough to move the boxes.
Okay. So what are we looking at for this Facebook thing? Facebook story.
Well, this congressman, whatever the hell he is, got snippy with Donald Trump over Trump making a post. Trump tweeted, crime and killings in Chicago have reached such epidemic proportions that I'm sending federal help. 1,714 shootings in Chicago this year. Holy fuck. Anyway, Pennebaker sent back, while you're at it, tell your VP to work on Indiana's gun laws to stop the flow of guns into Chicago. Thanks. And somebody pointed out to him that
Chicago's in Illinois.
Yeah, that guns weren't coming in that way.
Okay. I thought he was saying, like, change the laws in Indiana so that guns won't be in Chicago. I'm like, Chicago's in Illinois, isn't it? But yeah.
Oh yeah, so that they wouldn't get into Chicago from Indiana.
Yeah, because it's the guns that are doing the shooting. You see.
Yes.
It's not that there's people with guns in their hands and pulling the triggers. No, it's the guns' fault.
Yeah, and I'm sure that all the gangsters that are shooting people are making absolutely sure that they get legal guns
from people who are following the gun laws in Indiana.
Snub also sent us a screenshot of some more of this, apparently. Let me see if I've got this right here. Sorry. So Pennebaker says, whenever I'm looking at like Twitter posts and things, do I read from the bottom up or from the top down? I can never really tell which is the caramel. Yeah, okay. Pennebaker says, sorry, John, but I won't absolve you of this. Don't wait for someone else to do something you want to see happen. Get active and do something. And then someone named Pickle Jars says, how can he do anything with a platform of 60? You have the followers, you have the voice. Pennebaker responds, so he is free to complain and take no action. I'm pretty sure there is a world that exists outside of this digital space. Get active. And then someone named Robbie De Leon says, he is being active by getting you, a politician, to recognize the issue and do your job about it.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Let's see, and then this is continuing on from what he said to Donald Trump. I see. Okay, so then
Yes.
Someone named Big Sauce Tom tells him that's not how the guns are getting there. Pennebaker says, yes, it is. Big Sauce Tom says, NRA members aren't the ones killing people over drug money. Pennebaker says, super. But do the letters NRA appear in the tweet you're responding to? Nope. Thanks for sharing. And then some guy named John says, why don't you do some investigating on the poorly guarded train yards on the south side? Yeah, this is just getting more and more. Yeah. That's funny. Okay.
So it's just a Twitter battle.
Yeah.
It's
the politician who's being kind of dense. Yeah. Well, thank you, Snubber. That's always entertaining.
He took a cheap shot at the vice president, making himself look like an ass because he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, that is it for the most recent MSS news stories.
Did you sort by latest?
I did, and the latest. So according to the Twitter app, I've got 4 latest stories. But let me look and make sure. There might be stuff from other days that we haven't looked at yet. Of course, I don't know what you guys looked at the days I was gone either.
True. Okay.
Did we talk about? That's June 22nd. Seems a bit far back.
Let me look, because I swear I saw more than just 4 stories. Let me look on the. Okay, so we had the Jew thing, we had the fidget spinners, marijuana chick. Oh, Florida man tired of walking steals another fork truck, so we did that.
Right.
Oh, goddamn.
I don't remember this one, but I'm going to read it anyway just because it caught my attention. This comes from staff reporter Carlene Bernier. Man's hopelessly romantic advert for a wife has Tinder users falling in love with him 150 years later.
I'm sorry.
People often describe the good old days with misty-eyed nostalgia. No one can actually be sure when the good old days were specifically, but what we do know is they were a far simpler and happier time. If you require any further persuading about how much more straightforward the good old days were, look no further than this dating profile from 1865. Back in 1865, there was no such thing as Tinder, no kidding, or sordid bars in which to meet romantic interests. So here's what the ad read for back in 1865. Chance for a spinster. A young man in Aroostook County, Maine, advertising for a wife, speaks of himself as follows, quote, I am 18 years old, have a good set of teeth, and believe in Andy Johnson, the Star-Spangled Banner, and the 4th of July. I have taken up a state lot, cleared up 18 acres last year, and seeded 10 of it down. My buckwheat looks first-rate, and the oats and potatoes are bully. I have got 9 sheep, a 2-year-old bull, and 2 heifers, besides a house and a barn. I want to get married. I want to buy bread and butter, hoop skirts, and waterfalls for some person of the female persuasion during life. That's what's the matter with me, but I don't know how to do it, unquote. Okay. Let's see. Following...
There's actually...
Sorry,
there's more to it.
Yeah. Following the ad being posted on Twitter, the general consensus was this man sounds like a catch. Another young man, inspired by the ad, decided to copy and it. Okay, thank you, Mirror. Copy and it into his Tinder profile. Sadly, there were no takers.
Aww.
Anyway, yeah, okay, so that was interesting.
Yeah, I have a couple of stories from within the last hour here.
Okay. Well, Twitter's not being nice to me, then, and not showing me what they are.
Yeah, I
where
see
they
that
are.
because there's quite a few here.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Did you click on the latest tab?
Yeah, no, I did. And so the Twitter app gives me like 4 stories. Twitter.com, I don't know. I'd have to take a look.
Well, that's what you
So-
need to. That's where you need to click on the latest tab, Scribe.
Well, there's a latest tab on the app, my dear.
I know, but go to twitter.com.
I am now. And yeah, it gives me 4 stories.
Give it a second and it'll reload the bottom and the rest of them will pop up. It did the same
Okay.
thing to me.
Oh, okay. Proceed.
So
Teaching old people
Um,
technology.
from
Shut up.
staff reporter Colleen Bernier, believe it or not, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber bought by Ripley's for $450,000. Luke Skywalker's original lightsaber, the oh my goodness. This is why you read the news.
Okay, hold on. I'll try
Luke
to pronounce it.
Skywalker's original lightsaber,
Mesmerizing.
the mesmerizing movie prop weapon that eventually saved the galaxy from evil, has been bought at a Hollywood auction for $450,000 by Ripley Entertainment. For the record, that is not the weapon that did it. That weapon fell
it's
down a
not.
hole.
Yeah, that weapon fell down into the pit at the Bespin Cloud City gas mine. And the real weapon that saved the galaxy was Luke Skywalker's second lightsaber, the green one. And that one he still has, so far as we know.
And even technically, that didn't do it. Darth Vader picking up the Emperor and throwing him over did it.
That is also true.
Anyway, spoiler alert. Sorry, guys. It's a 50-year-old movie.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. And Skywalker's droid buddy, little R2-D2, went to another buyer for an enormous $2.76 million, breaking the record for any movie memorabilia ever auctioned, according to Profiles in History Auction House. Why is the lightsaber the big deal then if R2 went for $2.76 million?
Don't know.
It's
Probably because you can make
I'm
your
not
own
reading anymore
lightsaber.
because fuck them for putting the lightsaber above R2.
Well, probably because you can make your own lightsaber prop these days or just buy one, a replica for relatively cheap. Whereas like an R2-D2, like an original R2-D2, that's a rare find.
Why wouldn't that be the headline?
I don't know.
That actually broke a record. God damn it!
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
So, yeah.
I have another one from
And
staff. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
technically, that's Anakin's lightsaber.
Oh, Mr. Technical, you are correct.
See, I've been saying that for like fucking ever, and people are like, "Well, like Luke like used it and stuff." I'm like, I don't give a shit. That's Anakin's. He built it. It's his fucking lightsaber. You retard.
Yeah, he cut off a
Die.
Wampa's arm with it, and he hurt Darth Vader's shoulder with it, and that's about all he ever did with that lightsaber before he lost it.
Yeah.
So this one also comes from staff reporter Colleen Bernier, but it is also from our favorite source of news, The Root. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. So they're quoting this individual in the headline. Quote, "Nothing like almost shooting someone to set your head right," unquote. Florida sheriff's deputy fired after boasting online. A Florida sheriff's deputy is out of a job after a photo surfaced of him boasting about almost shooting someone to, quote, set his head right. The Snapchat photo, which was posted June 25th, shows Deputy Austin Callis, that's a great name, 23, sitting in a vehicle in plain clothes. The caption read, "Nothing like almost shooting someone in the head. Sorry, shooting someone to get your head right. LOL. God, I gate people with knives." Unquote. It is assumed that "gate" was a typo for the word "hate." Yes.
Oh yes, yes.
Yes, and so he was right. So he was fired for that. The end.
Good, and he should be.
Yeah.
Let's catch up on a couple of super chats here. Thank you, Crit Pick. God, that's going to drive me nuts now that I know how to say it. R2-D2 didn't come with a little person inside it. What a ripoff. Little person is very derogatory. You should call them midgets.
Yeah.
Especially given how much Monkey loves his midgets.
Indeed. Mashishu, Monkey, I'm not blocked by Steve Shives on Twitter. I just followed him and tweeted, "Ranting Monkey, your life makes me sad" meme on his Twitter.
Oh,
Thank you so
boy.
much for that.
Prepare to be blocked.
Yeah, that should do it.
Yeah,
He
monkey.
kinda-
monkey.
There's a chance he took a swing at me in one of his videos recently.
Really?
There's
Oh,
just
really?
yes. Yeah.
How do
What
you
did he
mean?
say?
He happens to mention pretty much everybody I've made a video about recently, and then make some comment about it's not monkey business, it's monkey tactics or some shit like that. It's a really small clip, and maybe it has nothing to do with me, but maybe it did. Maybe.
I was about to say
Anyhow.
that when Monkey gets a hold of an R2D2, it's pretty much his version of cybersex.
Yes, that's my fleshlight.
I got one more from Colleen Bernier, staff reporter Colleen Bernier, and she tagged me specifically in it.
Oh,
So I guess we'll see what this is. This comes from The Mirror, so you know it's going to be quality. Plus size model spots drunk man sending vicious messages about her, so she bravely confronts him. Okay. Natalie Haig was initially devastated by the messages, but plucked up the courage to take the man up on his actions. Okay. By her own admission, Natalie Haig is extremely anxious about flying. This anxiety was recently made worse by one man, a complete stranger who knew nothing about her, okay, and the cruel comments he made to a friend. Natalie, a plus-size model, has devoted her time to promote a body-positive message through her own work. Unfortunately, when she recently boarded a flight, she was confronted with exactly the sort of bias and attitude she strives to eliminate. Booked into one of the middle seats on the plane, the man sat next to her was hostile from the very start. Natalie took to Instagram to describe the upsetting incident, adding, quote, "I paid almost $70 extra for the seat I'm in because I know I need a little extra leg room," unquote. Okay. Oh, and okay, so here's the story as recited by her. It's one giant wall of text. Okay, I'll stop if it gets stupid. "I'm shaking right now. I'm on a flight to LA right now on American Air."
She shakes a lot.
Yeah, if only she shook more, maybe she'd be less heavy. Anyway,
sorry.
does that make her a shake weight? "I paid almost $70 extra for the seat I'm in because I know I need a little extra leg room. I'm extremely flight anxious, but there were only middle seats available, so I had to take what I could get. As soon as I sat down, the gentleman on my left began loudly huffing, sighing, and readjusting himself in his seat. I see him furiously texting and then purposefully turning the phone away from me. So naturally, next time he texts, I take a look. The texts were about me, and I'm almost positive he took photos of me. Not only were the texts about me, but they were really mean and ugly, with even the recipient named Linda chiming back with shaming retorts, someone who can't even see the situation. If you can't...
Wait. So this cunt is violating somebody else's privacy?
Apparently so.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Who's the cunt in the situation?
That fat bitch.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you can't read the text, it says, quote, and she's telling us what the text supposedly say now, quote, "Hopefully she didn't have any Mexican food," and his and his response is, "I think she ate a Mexican."
Oh my God.
Then he proceeds to say
funny.
he's leaving a neck mark on the window because he's so smashed against the wall. From the photos, you can see I'm not in his space. He's not even taken over both armrests on purpose. He's even taken over both armrests on purpose, coming to my space and digging his elbows into my side, which is in my seat.
If your side goes over into the other seat, he kind of can't help that.
Oh God! In his next text to her was, quote, "If the news reports a DFW Airbus A321 leaving the runway without rotating, that would be my flight." Hold on. Another I see later, quote, "If these seats don't hold, it's not going to matter." And then just a few of them. There were several more. I didn't do anything to him. I'm in my seat. Okay, I'm waiting for her. What's her reaction is. "I'm crumpled into a ball, trying not to bother. I'm so upset. I asked the other man to my right if he'd switch with me and told him that the man was saying about me. And he said laughed. Okay, he laughed and refused. Okay, so where's the part where she does
Where does she
something about it?
confront it? Or is
Yeah,
it
where's the
just her?
confront? Oh, they got a picture of her, and yeah, she's a plus size.
Yeah, she's a big girl. I looked at the story. She's a big
Yeah.
girl.
Okay, so
I don't understand what the extra leg room is going to do for the width of the seat.
Okay.
Look, I don't. If you're fat, fine. But
Oh.
one, she's violating his privacy. She is reading his private messages. That is one fucking very rude. And if she hadn't been doing that, she wouldn't have got upset at all.
Yeah.
Just jokes between friends.
Okay, so here's where she confronts the guy. It could have ended there, but once the flight landed, Natalie bravely plucked up the courage to confront the man and recorded his response. There's then a link to a video, but I'll read the text they give us. In the video, you hear Natalie ask, quote, "I couldn't help." Oh, I love this. "I couldn't help but notice before we took off, you were sending really horrible text messages about me," before adding, "Do you normally make fun of fat people?" While Natalie does not pan to his face, she does describe the horrified expression he pulls at being discovered. He apologizes repeatedly to Natalie and explains he had been drinking. He then invalidates his apology by asking her if she'd be capable of helping people get off the plane in an emergency. A lengthy discussion follows, during which the man digs himself increasingly into a hole. Ultimately, Natalie has the perfect response, telling him she not only works out 5 times a week, horse shit, but also, "My body is none of your business. Don't ever treat anyone like that again."
See, if she had asked me that, I would have just deadpanned yes and walked away.
Wait.
Yeah, no
My
shit.
body is none of your business. You are a plus-sized model, and you advocate for body positive stuff. You make your body other people's business.
But also,
His
like,
texts
if
are
your
none of
fat is
her
in my
fucking
lap,
business.
it's a little bit of my business. Just
Yeah.
saying.
His texts are none of her fucking business.
This is sort of reminds me of the Riley thing the other day, where it's like, my health isn't anybody else's business, or my sexuality. It's like, that is everything that makes up your YouTube channel, dude. This lady's a plus size model. She's made somehow a career out of being fat. So her fat is everybody else's business.
They said
especially
works out
when
5
it's-
times a week. Walking to the fridge isn't a workout, sweetie.
Yeah.
Well, remember,
said.
Whitney Waythor is a dancer.
Sweeper Steven, thank you. This is for you, Monkey. Whether you won or lost, some people will say you won. Some stupid vegans sucking Vegan Gains' dick will say you lost, but I think you still made Vegan Gains look stupid.
Well, thank you for that. There's also one that went by while we were going on.
Oh,
It's from Cryptic. He says, "Monkey, you've been saying my name right all along. Scribe was off.
what?
It's how it's spelled. It's Crit Pick.
Crit
But
pick.
apparently it's like Brett Favre. We're supposed to reverse letters in the names. Cryptic.
Okay. And then Falcon Millennial said lifts off and then stalls at the end of the runway. Oh, man.
No, I don't mean to be mean here, but if you're going to be a cunt about it, I mean, one, do not read other people's text. That's fucking rude.
How did she crane her head around to see them in the first place?
Maybe he was just showing them.
Also, like, if somebody that massive was sitting next to me, I would probably be texting Bay about it anyway. So definitely don't read my text if you're like massive and sitting next to me, because your feelings are going to get hurt.
And
Soz.
Affable Sage says, and then everybody gave her a standing ovation. Yes, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
And the whole
Bullshit.
bus clapped.
At least they could stand.
Well, they were all trapped there and couldn't get off, so they had to wait through this conversation that never happened. Like, okay, anyway.
Do you
Maybe
think
she
that
was
ending
trying to eat his
conversation even
tweets.
happened?
First text. Oh my god.
Well, there's a video. Let me check and see if I'll listen to the video clip for a minute and see if it actually happened that way or not.
Because like whenever feminists describe like this epic conversation where they like were like, do you realize what you've done? What it or whatever. It like I'm like, are you sure that actually happened?
Falcon Millennial, thank you. 90 knots at 30,000 feet is much better than that. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, don't read other people's fucking messages. That's so fucking rude. I hate that. Do not read over my shoulder, because if I noticed you reading over my shoulder, my text would get much fucking worse just to piss you off.
No, I would be like, this bitch is reading over my shoulder. I don't know how she's doing it. She really shouldn't be that flexible. I think she might die of a heart attack if she keeps this up. Like,
I told you, I would get even worse if I noticed you reading over my fucking shoulder, because don't do that shit.
Okay, so the video is about 3 minutes long. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it does appear that everything that was said in the article is said in person to this guy. So it's possible she does.
Is there clapping at the end?
Is there what? Is there clapping at the end? Oh, no, I didn't get. Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah. Jump to the end. I want to, yeah. Is there clapping? And guys, that will wrap it up for MSS News when he's done checking out the clapping situation. And I want to actually see people clapping. This better not just be her fat going at it. Sorry. Anyway.
No, there's nobody clapping. There's just people trying to get off the plane.
Yeah, well,
Anyway.
So, YouTube. Did you guys make videos today? I have not been on since I posted mine earlier today.
Last night,
yes.
Bay and I did a book club stream, and instead of it being like the Mercy Thompson novels, it was a book that I fucking hate. And if you want to see me kind of deranged at like 2:30 in the morning, upset about a book, go watch it. It's funny. Like, you don't even have to watch more than 5 minutes of it, but I think there's some entertainment value out of me just being incredibly upset.
And it's much different than her being deranged at 9 p.m.
I missed a super chat. It was from Affable Sage. It said, and then everyone gave her a standing ovation.
Right. Yeah, I read that.
No.
Oh, and then Falcon Millennial says 90 knots at 3,000 feet is much better than that.
You guys didn't miss either one of those super chats. But
okay, never mind.
So that's just it. It was a I was a fucking mess, but it was an absolute. It's a fucking garbage book.
It's a garbage book. So
wait,
Sargon wrote it?
What?
Never mind.
Okay. I'm re-listening to Iron Kiss now, so I can like remember what the plot is, which is the third book in the Mercy Thompson series. And I really like this one, so I'm excited to talk about it. I'm not sure when Bay and I are going to do that stream, but we will at some point, and so that'll be fun. We're just interspersing books we like with books that make us want to tear our hair out.
Cool.
So.
I did nothing today in video land. I will
be. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm also planning on doing a stream with Patty Politics on Friday at some point. Still need to work out a time, but yeah.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that
is.
She's
a YouTuber. And
really?
Yeah, sometimes like you have other types of people on. I don't know. But she's a YouTuber. She's about the same size as I am as far as subs go.
Oh.
And I like her content, so.
I'm hoping to get back into the video swing of things the next day or so. I got some free time, so I'm finishing up the third season of Flash. I'm going to start working on the Legends of Tomorrow, and sooner or later I will do a stream on the CW Arrowverse, Flashverse stuff, because I'm not much of a DC freakazoid, but at least in the realm of the TV shows, I'm fairly well versed at this point to, I guess, give my thoughts, if that's interesting to people, because it was suggested a couple of days ago. But yeah, that's it so far.
Sweet.
Monkey?
Yeah, I made a video today.
Did you really?
I did.
Did you kind of? Yeah, you kind of did.
I kind of did. It was actually a joke. I have that Riley Dennis video that's been doing really well, and I was just checking my social link because I hadn't checked it in a little bit to see, how everything was growing. And yesterday there was a lot of growth that wasn't. Something obviously had happened yesterday to make the growth even better than it had been. And thank you to everyone who has subbed. I love you all. You guys are fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of that, I thought, I wonder what kind of boost Vegan Gains got from that. And I just happened to go and look, and he actually lost subs yesterday, which is unusual. He doesn't lose subs. And just to piss off vegans, I made a video where the end of it is, it says, when there's a debate, everybody wants to know who wins, and you have to let the audience decide. And that's what we'll do here. And I just flashed the picture showing the 2 different sub things and ended with a smile and, you know, my usual tag stuff. And it has worked out beautifully to trigger these little shits. And it's made me very happy. That's all. And other than that, I am still going to make the rage video because that is a serious topic that I do want to address.
The rage video, Rage Across Storm or whatever it is.
Rage Against Storm or Rage After Storm, whatever the hell it is. So I will be doing one of those eventually. But I took today off, other than that video, which I actually made before I went to sleep. So technically, it's kind of last night for me. But yeah, I just took today off and rested. Went out with Grand Monkey and Lady Monkey and had a good day. And gonna get to sleep early, guys. I won't be on Discord or anything after this. I'm going straight to bed when I'm done here. But other than that, no, I'm not. I don't have anything cooking.
Oh, okay. Well then,
I may make a 4th of July post too. We'll see what happens with that. I have an idea for one. We'll see.
Yeah, I really should, because Knight of Charlemagne made a 4th of July avatar for me, and I got to find some reason to use it. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So what else do we have going? Is there any YouTube drama going on? I know Mash said that Kevin Logan was on Warski's channel, and apparently Blair was on there too and beat up on him a little bit.
What?
Something that I've heard from a couple of people, I'm not sure, I haven't verified this, but
okay.
Supposedly Crazy Hair is autistic.
Who's Crazy Hair?
Oh, the Crazy Hair situation. You know,
who's Crazy Hair? Before we get into that, I don't know who this is.
He's a YouTuber.
Okay, but what do they do?
Crazy Hair is a YouTuber, and the reason that her name is popping up now is during VidCon, Shoe One Head, Blair, Skeptic, Blair's boyfriend, and a couple of other people were at a hotel room, and Crazy Hair ended up there somehow.
Okay.
How exactly is still a little bit up in the air, but nobody there really knew her, so it was kind of awkward, and they'd asked her to leave a few times, which she didn't. And when she left the room, she started recording stuff that was going on inside the room, but without permission and without telling anyone. So there's this whole big drama that's blown up over it, and I'm not taking sides on any of it. The only thing I will say is the Blair stream where they talked about this was kind of fucked up. Okay. There was no reason to air all of this publicly. And no matter how wrong she was, from what I heard, I don't think she's wrong at all, or I don't think she's right at all. But that stream is very hard to watch because it just seems like beating up on her for no reason. I get that you're upset by what she did. It could have been done in private, is all I'm saying. But yeah, a lot of people have gone over there and told her to told Crazy Hair to kill herself on her channel and stuff. And there's rumors that she has mental illnesses, and I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I've heard that she's, I mean, I'm not going to say where because I just, but I've got friends and stuff. But I've been told by a couple of people that she's autistic. And if that's the case, it makes her, seemingly odd behavior make more sense. I'm not saying that it would excuse any wrongdoing she might have done, but her understanding with social cues makes more sense.
She seems very socially awkward because she did jump on that stream with Blair, and that's to her credit because they were fucking beating her down. That was hard to listen to again. But I understand why they were all mad. I just don't think it needed to be done publicly. But yeah, she definitely seems socially awkward, and I don't want to talk about her too much because I don't know her. Just based on the conversation I heard, including her part in it, and then what was described going on. Yeah, she at the very least seems very socially awkward and doesn't take cues very, very well.
Oh, I just found out what I'm going to do my next video on. No, I've waited so long. Oh, Dr. Hoff, you've taken far too long.
Oh, did he get back?
Dr. Hoff is back.
Sweet. I love your Dr. Hoff videos.
He's going to tell us. I haven't watched it yet. I just found out he posted it. He posted something on Twitter. He rarely posts anything on Twitter, and I thought, I haven't checked out his channel in a while. And yeah, just 8 hours ago. Is attachment theory overrated? I don't know anything about attachment theory. I don't even know if this is going to make a good video, but I'm going to take a look as soon as I can, and if it's worthy of comment, I will have a new Dr. Hoff. Yeah.
Somebody did ask in here if recording like that is illegal. In California, you have to have the other person's permission to record.
Right.
And this was in California, so.
Yeah.
Dean says, I made a video about the comments, Ranting Monkey. Are you talking about the comments to my latest video? Because some of those are brilliant. They're excellent.
Now, see, that's something I hadn't thought of. It's like making a video about somebody else's video comments. I'm sure that's something that isn't a new idea, but.
Oh my God. When I was making that video, I posted it, and I always watch my videos after I post them to see if there was anything going on. And I as soon as I posted that one, a comment came on. And so instead of actually watching the video, I just sit there and listen for, cues that something went wrong, and I go play in the comments. So I scrolled down far enough that on the recommended side, there's a video link. Somebody not only watched and live streamed our debate yesterday, they live streamed their own reaction to the debate live. They did this stream for 4.5 fucking hours.
Is that how long the debate was?
No. The debate was barely 2 hours, and then Richard went on for another half hour whining. But yeah, this dude went on for 4.5. I was talking to Ray Bear about it this morning when I first saw it, and he goes, "Are you going to watch it?" I'm like, no. Watching somebody talk about me for 4.5 hours is just creepy as fuck. I'm gonna skip that one. But yeah, if you guys want to make videos about my comments, have fun with it. There's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot
if
of
you
stuff.
do like a dramatic readings of your comments, that'd be funny. Like, especially if it's like
I could do that. Kind of like how I did the dramatic reading of Anita's stuff.
Right.
People like that a lot.
If it's a thread like back and forth between a couple of people and it's interesting, because I know Vernaculus did this one time. He would do dramatic readings of like his comment fights with some of the people watching his videos. Those are always funny.
Well, maybe I'll do that. I'll do a sexy reading of my comments.
Oh God, you have to have some Bow Chicka Wow Wow music in the background.
Ranting Monkey, you suck. Yeah, watch for it, guys. That one's coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, there's plenty for everybody to do. There's a lot of shit comments there.
Oh, and as a programming note, Monkey and I, do you want to talk about the thing we might be doing on Wednesday?
Yeah. We're going to do that Wednesday?
Yeah, so Wednesday, sometime prior to the regular stream, Monkey and I are going to do a quick stream about doing YouTube videos and tips and advice and stuff. And I guess you already have some questions from people on stuff that we can go over. So
yeah, I did this previously as a quick thing right after a stream, and that's the one that got interrupted by lightning. And there's still a lot of people who had questions. So yeah, we're just going to do another stream, and Scribe's going to be kind enough to come along and give his input too.
Yep.
We don't have a time yet for that. We will figure it out, and we'll let you know. We should definitely do a dramatic reading.
So do we have any deep questions or deep thoughts tonight to discuss?
I really don't.
SDA?
Nope.
I will say, and I don't know how deep this is, we went to Walmart tonight, and I am really, really thankful for stretch pants a lot of times. There's times that they're really bad. There are times that they're bad.
Oh, shit.
But there are times that they are just, they're wonderful.
Okay.
There were a couple of those times walking around the store today. Yeah. And I just want to share my appreciation for stretch pants. That's all.
So
are you saying that you were admiring the female form by any chance?
They may have been female.
Okay. May have been. They may have been.
I don't know. I only saw them from behind.
In that vein,
I could have been checking out a dude's ass, but it was still a nice ass.
In that vein,
yes.
I live in the South, and I live in an area where we have a nice mix of fucking normal people and fucking rednecks. And I just want to say, if you are an overweight redneck with oddly shaped boobs, maybe don't wear a fucking tube top.
I love tube
tops. Public service announcement.
I love tube tops because there's always a chance it's going to slide down or up.
Yeah, but for some people, stop. Just don't, because it's fucking disgusting. What?
Some of us like to see that.
I mean, if you have the body for it, great. But if you're an overweight redneck, don't wear a fucking tube top.
Do you ever watch Ron White? Do you know who Ron White is, the comedian?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Ron White tells a joke about how guys don't care what the titties look like. We'll look at them. He said it could be a 90-year-old biker chick say, "You want to see my titties?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do."
No.
And when she shows me, put them up, and okay. And for the most part, it is true. I if it's an old lady, no, okay, I'm not with that. But she's healthy, a little chunky. I don't mind. Let that shit pop out. I'm good.
No. Yoga pants if they actually do yoga. Otherwise, no.
See, I'm still a fan of a camel toe. It doesn't matter if there's an elephant around it. I mean, a good camel toe is still to be appreciated.
It depends. I mean, does the stomach extend further out than the breast do?
Well, as long as it's up high enough that it's not blocking the camel toe is still nice.
Apparently, Gutenberg has some deep questions to ask us, but he'll only do it on the stream.
Uh-oh.
I'll talk to Gutenberg.
Do we give him 5 minutes to ask these questions?
All right, Goot. Hang on a second. I'll send you the link.
All right.
Anyway, while we're doing that, what else do we have? What other
deep questions?
I brought up something deep.
Yeah, I brought up the 4th of July thing the other day. Actually, my 4th of July video, I just thought of it. Maybe I'll do a quick live stream. Maybe not a live stream so I can use the avatar, but I'll do a quick parody video of all the reasons why you shouldn't celebrate the 4th as from the social justice perspective.
Just make sure you put on there that this is not my opinion.
Satire. Yeah, this is satire. Yeah, please don't kill me. Don't kill me, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any deep thoughts otherwise.
Yeah.
So I do, but I'm waiting for Gutenberg. No, I don't want to bring it up because it'll take too long. But
night, baby. My wife's going to.
Night, monkey.
Love you, sweetie. Mwah, mwah. Okay.
Is that the new dryer in the background I hear?
Oh yeah, probably. Sounds like there's jeans in it. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm making sure. I wasn't hearing things. It wasn't fireworks again. Just making sure.
Those were almost as bad as the thunder. For fuck's sake, when she opened that door last night.
Now, are they doing it again tonight? Because it seemed kind of odd they were doing it last night of all nights.
No, they do it on the weekend around the 4th of July. So if the 3rd or 4th was actually on a weekend, they would have done it on that day, but they do it.
Hi, Gutenberg.
Real quick, Cryptic, thank you. A bag over the head, non-plastic, of course, solves everything. And if it's from behind, you'll be fine. There you go. See, that is good advice.
I could totally vouch for the bag. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. Got a new mic. How does it sound? Sound good?
Sounds fine to me.
You sound you're a little bit quiet. Are you backed away from it?
A little bit quiet? Hold on. Let me fix that right now. I'm actually
just a tad.
I'm right on top of it.
No.
Oh.
All right. There we go. I switched to an XLR mic, and I got a mixer. So hoping a little bit better quality than a USB mic that I had.
Well, you sound really good, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's a little up. All right, hold on.
Did you get your new computer?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so awesome. I rendered a 12-minute video today in about 12 minutes.
Well, that's not bad.
It was fucking awesome. How's everybody doing? I haven't talked to you guys for a while. How are you?
I'm good.
You're doing okay.
Excellent.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to weasel my way onto the stream here.
I figured you did.
What are you guys talking about? What's the new subject?
Well, right now we're at the part of our show where we talk about a deep thought. Do you have any deep thoughts?
No.
Do you have any deep thoughts about ants?
Ants? No.
Ants. Yeah.
No.
How's the ant farm going?
Dude, I bought that thing and it's still in the box.
Seriously. You gotta find your queen, man.
Yeah, right now should be the time I should be doing that, but I'm too lazy. Buy a queen, like
how's the go ahead.
No, how's the what?
I was gonna say, are you currently drunk?
I am drinking a little bit, but I promised myself I'd keep it under control.
Okay. I'm making sure. I worry about your health, especially your liver and your kidneys.
I drink like one week in a month now.
Okay.
So he's in the National Guard of drinking.
1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year.
That is probably the best way to put it. That
Oh,
is
man.
absolutely correct. 1 week in a month I allow myself. Because I do have the gene for alcoholism, so I gotta keep it under control.
Well, that's not bad. If you're keeping it at 1 weekend a month, I don't think that's a problem.
I don't think it is either. But I do work at night, so it's not too hard to keep it under control. You know what I mean?
I did have a deep thought / question to ask, I suppose, because it's something that came up today. I mean, it's, I guess, sort of a personal-ish question, but do you find yourself being someone, and this is for all of you, someone who overthinks what's going on in their lives or what's happening tomorrow, or do you live in the moment?
Oh, I'll go first here. I live in the moment. I overthink politics. I overthink my videos, but my actual day-to-day life, I'm in the moment.
And what does that mean to you exactly, living in the moment, just for clarification?
I'm not a planner. If I decide, if you hear that I went to like the store or I went to the park or went to the beach, I didn't plan that out a week or a month ahead of time. I decided, fuck, I want to go to the beach, and that's what I go do. Lady Monkey is not like that at all. Lady Monkey is a planner, and I drive her absolutely insane. Mm-hmm. But for me, yeah, I don't like having a schedule like that, because then if for any reason that day comes and I don't want to go, then I feel bad because everybody else is all excited because that's what we're going to do. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go do this. So I prefer to live in the moment.
It depends on the situation. I'm a meticulous planner on some things, and then the whole time while it's supposed to be happening, I'm just a complete ball of stress. But I also know that when it comes to like personal to-do lists, I can make like this month, this is going to happen, and I can pretty much stick to it. But if I'm like, today I'm going to get this, listen, like, it's not going to fucking happen. Keep trying to keep me to a schedule. It's just like, no. But I don't know.
Gutenberg.
I'm a very spontaneous person, like Monkey was saying about planning trips and whatnot. The only thing I think about long term is financial. Other than that, like day to day human interactions or whatever like that, everything is just off the cuff. Whatever happens, happened. Other than financial, I don't really think long term about anything.
Yeah, that's like about how I am on a day to day basis. It's just like if I have a very specific thing that needs to happen a certain way, I'm like freaking out.
Yeah, I think you realize that as you become adult, like you need to tackle issues that come up right away. You can't put them off because then you just become a mountain of a task that you have to perform later. So you just got to do it right away. You know what I mean?
Now, Scribe, I imagine you're a planner.
Yeah, I mean, so in my day-to-day life, I have a very set routine. It's not so much a schedule, I guess. It's not like by the minute kind of thing, but I have a very set routine. And I've talked about this before. Years ago, prior to being on some medication, I was just a constant ball of anxiety and depression and everything else. And having a set routine was sort of the anchor by which sort of kept me in a straight line as far as being productive and a useful member of society when I wasn't being insane in my head. But yeah, my mind's going a mile a minute about various things. I mean, it could be anything. I could be thinking about what I'm doing today, what I'm doing tomorrow. It's never calm. My brain's never sort of a calm in the storm. The only time that's ever sort of calmish is if I get a song stuck in my head. That kind of like overwrites everything else for a while.
Oh yeah.
But I'm always like figuring 3 steps ahead of myself, even if it's just 15 minutes ahead of myself. It's sometimes.
So this is why I don't like music. And it's because my brain, there's always something happening in my head, which is why I write, because there's always, like, I'm always thinking about a story or about something I could do. Like, there's always something happening in my brain. And music to me just sounds like noise. And I hate, and that's why I don't listen to it, because it's just, it like puts my brain on overdrive, and it just, like, I have to turn it off because it's too much.
Scribe, ever get the Sanford and Son theme song stuck in your head?
I can't say it's never happened, but the really, I guess the thing is that I mean, I know a couple of people, rare people, and I envy them. Where I say something like, you know, what you thinking? Like, no, nothing. Like, and no matter when I ask them, just like, oh, nothing. And you know, even though they're not like brainless or something, it's just that they're not even living in like worrying about what's happening next. They're just sort of living, quote unquote, in the moment. And I've always, like I say, I've always been jealous of that because I can't turn my brain off. I can't not be thinking about stuff. It's just not in me. So I don't know, and this is going to sound really sort of overly dramatic just by saying it, but I don't know that I've ever really known peace, if that makes any sense.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's over dramatic.
Oh, I do. I know what you're talking about.
Well, calm, I'm not worried about something. I'm not overanalyzing something. I'm not, even if it's not worrying in the sense of being sad or depressed, but just sort of like thinking ahead about something. My brain
just
has
content.
never known. Yeah, just content. Just sort of like I'm just going to sit here and just be happy in the moment and not think about what's going to come tomorrow or something. I don't think I've ever been at that place, except in very rare moments for some reason or another.
Yeah,
that doesn't quite sound like over
Monkey.
planning. It sounds like self-analyzing more.
Well, there's that too. Don't get me wrong. There's that too. There's that in there.
Well, I can say as somebody who does, like, my brain is always on, which is why I have trouble sleeping. Listening to podcasts, listening to audiobooks and stuff like that, and like having, like, I can't watch a movie because it just feels like background noise, but I can watch a documentary and that helps. And listening to music doesn't help. It just makes me nuts. It sounds like nails on a chalkboard to me in most situations.
That's weird. You can enjoy music.
Well, I can listen to music in like social situations and stuff like that, and I like to sing. But if I'm like doing something, listening to music just like, I don't know why. It's too much. But what helps me to like wind down is actually having like, that's why I watch SciShow a lot. That's why I watch so many documentaries, because that helps me wind down. So if you have issues winding down and not worrying about something because you have to be thinking about something, then like I just give myself something to think about.
Am I the only one here that's never had to deal with stress or depression?
Probably.
I've had to deal with it, but mostly since this whole neck thing happened. Before that, yeah, I was I
might be a borderline sociopath here. I don't know, because I don't have these
borderline.
I don't think that's it. I think that's just called being healthy, and
yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, since like I used to have a lot of issues, but ever since I like got better and they put me on the right medication, and I've basically developed like coping skills, so I know exactly what to do. I don't really deal with a lot of those issues anymore either.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a walking sociopath. I don't know. I've never been depressed in my life. I've never had feelings of anxiety over anxiousness. I've never had those feelings.
I think that's just being healthy.
I don't know. To me, that's
Lady
alien to me.
Used to get mad at me because I don't stress about things. No matter what horrible thing comes up, it's just like, okay, we'll deal with that. No big deal.
Yeah, I've never dealt with stress like that because it's just a problem. Whatever it is, it's a problem to be solved. So solve the problem and don't put it off.
Well, I will say that, like, basically, my psychologist has helped me train myself to deal with stress in that way. So, like, that's actually how you should be dealing with stressful situations, is you look at it and you go, okay, here's what happens. Here's what happened. How do we fix it? Yeah. Like, that's how you be a productive human being.
Well, there's no reason worrying about something that you cannot fix right now. What you do is you make a plan on how you're going to fix it. You fix it at the stages you can, and otherwise, it's not worth worrying about because it's not going to change anything.
Behaving that way is literally how you treat anxiety and depression. Is just behaving in a way that's actually productive. I mean, that's besides like therapy and medication, if that's what you need. Adjusting your behavior is pretty much the only way to fix all of that.
I just find all that totally alien to me. All of it. Anxiety, depression, worry. Like, I was always taught to you tackle your problems head on. whatever they are, and you figure out the most logical solution to those problems, and then you follow through with it.
Well, see, here's the thing about anxiety, and so when you are anxious, when you're clinically anxious and that kind of thing, it's not that you're not rational. It's that no matter how rational you are, you can't stop feeling what you're feeling. And this is what really drives, and I know I'm probably not speaking only for myself, but when I was crazy, like before I got my medication and everything, and I wasn't like, in a rubber room, incapable crazy, but up in my head, I was crazy. I'd have something happen like, and this is a true story for what it's worth. I sent an email out at work where I had misstated something. Nothing like vital, nothing like somebody's going to die or whatever, but I just misstated something. And I realized it after I sent the email, and I started freaking out. And my rational mind was saying, wait a second, you sent an email, it was a mistake. This is how much, like if you had in front of you like a yardstick, you say, okay, this is how much worry actually makes sense for this situation. And then you expend it out and say, this is what I'm feeling, which is like an extra foot worth of worry.
I don't have feelings. So
yeah, well, I understand. But your rational mind knows that point A is where your worry should be, but you can't help but feel point B like a foot further. And that's the problem, is that no matter how much you try to logic your way out of whatever you're feeling, it's not about solving the problem so much. It's about dealing with the emotional fallout that you have no control over. And so the torture of it is that your rational mind is sitting there having to keep you focused on being a productive individual while you are feeling like the world's coming to an end, but you can't stop it. No, you can't think your way out of it. That's one of the traps of it. And that's something I didn't learn until a long time afterwards.
I find that a very interesting phrase that you said. You feel like the world's ending. Can you elaborate on that kind of feeling? Because I've never had that.
Well, it's like,
I know I kind of put you on the spot. That's kind of hard.
No, it's like, just imagine you have realized you have done something completely horrific, but that you didn't mean to do. I mean, if you can imagine in your head, like you have run. Okay, you heard that story a couple months ago where that football player, he accidentally ran over his 2-year-old backing up out of his driveway.
Yes.
Okay, if you can conceive for a moment what kind of just despair of realizing you have done something irreversibly horrific.
Mm-hmm.
That is sometimes, not always, but sometimes what it feels like to be in a situation where your anxiety and your depression have overtaken your reason.
Okay.
Like something relatively minuscule you have done or you think you might do or whatever else, and it feels like something completely horrifically awful. Even though you know it shouldn't. Even though you know you shouldn't. You still feel it. The emotions are still there. Even though if your rational mind is saying, this isn't that bad, you might be able to keep yourself on an even keel to the outside world. But internally, you have to just sort of write it out. And it's insane.
You know what I think it is? We as Americans, or in the Western world in general, have it so fucking easy. We have all these times to dwell on issues that aren't really issues. We're no longer farming. We're no longer worrying about food. We're no longer worrying about staying warm in the winter. We have it so fucking good in the Western world that we have time to sit up in our heads and make up all these problems.
Well, that almost makes it sound like I have a choice in the matter. This is a hereditary thing. This is something my dad had to deal with. He didn't realize what was going on with him till late in life. I realized early on because I had him as an example.
But do you think your grandfather going through the depression had time to fucking worry about the dumbest, minute little shit? When I say dumb, I'm not downplaying the feelings that you're having, but I'm saying, do you feel like it's a lack of actual, people are no longer challenging themselves?
Well, okay, so the example I have is my father. My father did not know he had a problem that could be treated with medicine. So how did he deal with it? Well, he never talked about it. And he was always angry. He was always freaking out about stuff. And we thought he was just you know, a hothead, short temper, and everything else. When you didn't have words for it, when you didn't have a society that felt comfortable expressing the fact that something's wrong with you, that it would be a weakness, that it would be a shame to your family or anything else, it came out in ways that turned someone into a jerk or turned someone into an invalid or, you know, shut in or something else. So the fact that we have a way of articulating it these days in a more productive way than in, you know, the Depression or something else doesn't mean it wasn't going on. Doesn't mean people weren't worrying over stuff or being OCD or being whatever else. It's just that they didn't talk about it or it wasn't expressed in the same way. That's my theory on it, at least.
I understand what you mean. I just feel like greater men had to deal with a lot worse.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not, trust me, there's nothing about this that makes me think that it made sense or that what I was worrying about was actually worthy of it. This is the thing. It wasn't a choice that I was worrying as much as I was about it. It was it was like being a witness to something insane. It's sort of like watching what was going on at a college campus, right? These days, you're like standing on the sidelines and you're watching all these social justice freakazoids start setting up segregation zones and safe spaces and everything else. And you can stand on the outside and go, this is absolutely bug nuts insane, but there's nothing you can do about it but just observe. It's that kind of helplessness.
Yeah, but you can also take that self-awareness and that's like literally the first step to actually training your brain.
Yes.
To chilling the fuck out.
Well, I couldn't chill the fuck out. I could train myself to manage the emotions and not let them spill out into the real world or debilitate me, but I couldn't make them stop. That's about it. Managing was as best as I ever got.
Do you think this is a biological trick that the body plays on itself for self-preservation? Meaning everything that you're worrying about now with the email to your company and all that used to be what was set forth in your brain to make you plan for the future for survival, like what I was saying about, you know, making sure you're warm during the winter time or having enough food to survive the winter or making sure your family was safe. And now all these biological tricks now are being turned inward on minuscule things.
Yeah, I think it's a ramped up version of that. And I'm not going to say it's completely nature. I'm sure that some of the things that like things like my father would send me down to the garage to get him a specific tool or something when I was a little kid, and I'd grab the wrong one and bring it up, and he would freak out at me because it was the wrong one, probably being fueled by his own internal problems. And then I'd get way too overcautious the next time I did it. I'm sure there's a whole combination here, but I know that my experience was far beyond anything that could be purely psychological in nature. It was chemical. There was something going on in me. It was completely against my own better judgment. And then once I started taking medication, I lucked out because the first medication I was assigned, it got rid of all the garbage, turned down all the static, and I was much more balanced out about things. I still feel it out in the fringes, those old instincts and things. So I know it's not going to go away probably my entire life. And I was very skeptical about the results in the first couple of weeks of taking it because I was like, okay, is this psychosomatic? Is this placebo? Is this, am I not feeling as bad as I used to because it's rational not to, or because the drug is dumbing me down? All that stuff. But at this stage of the game, after 3 years, you know, there's no way I'd be doing YouTube videos or have the confidence of putting my voice out there, living under the kind of anxiety and depression I was just a few years ago. And Monkey even saw a shade of it, like early on when I told the plunger story. I told the plunger story on the air with Bering, and I was freaking the next day like I'd done something wrong, like I was going to get in trouble, like people would thought I was crazy, and at least more so than I already am. He heard and saw a shade of that. And then I calmed myself down. And years prior, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And actually, that experience has helped me quite a lot, to be honest. But anyway.
So you feel it's a chemical imbalance in your brain that made you over anxious or well,
I think, yeah.
If I could, I want to read something that Ben Masta said in chat here. He said, there's really no good way to explain anxiety to someone who doesn't experience it. It will always come across as a defeatable situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely agree with that. I'm not somebody who really suffers from anxiety like that, but I see where Scribe's coming from. But I'm also with Gutenberg, where my brain goes, well, all you got to do is stop thinking about that, because that's what I do. And
right.
Well, I don't mean stop thinking about it. I mean, tackle the issue head on. Like,
well, exactly. For me,
But
I
the
can.
thing
If
is,
too
sorry.
big of a problem, I can just go turn it off. I'll think about it at a later date.
I'm starting to
But for the-
understand Scribe's point of view, like how you feel like it's an undefeatable situation. But I'm explaining like what I think Monkey was saying is our pragmatic brains are like, this is a problem. We need to solve it, and it's out of the way.
Exactly.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
when you like, as somebody, I guess, who actually, it's like recovered from all of that. I mean, yeah, it's difficult, but what you have to do to get over mental illnesses that heavily impact your behaviors, like bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety, BPD, is you have to literally learn how to behave like a normal person. And it's not easy, but at some point you kind of gain the ability to train your brain to not freak out, or you can catch yourself and you can internally calm yourself down and stop freaking out.
I don't believe in-
Eventually, your
I don't believe in-
instincts stop, like your instincts kind of change and your natural behaviors go into a more normal range of stuff. And it's an ongoing process, but it's a completely possible thing to do.
The other thing that I have to also mention is that it's not just necessarily problems that are binary, solvable, unsolvable. Like for me, I spent the better part of 3 years practically insane because the emotional effect of being dumped and betrayed by my girlfriends or best friends kind of thing, it's a long story, stayed with me. Like the hurt, the sense of betrayal, the sense of paranoia over who I could trust. Even though those situations had long passed, it was like every day was just waking up with them just having happened. You know, no matter how much I tried to think my way out of it, the echoes of all that stuff and trying to replay the events in my head or try to figure out how to get around it or feelings of revenge, just everything you possibly imagine just kept rolling and roiling through my head. And it wasn't a problem that could be solved. It wasn't something that I did wrong necessarily and could just say, oh, well, this is where your portion of the blame is and this is where it ends. It's beyond just problems. And the best way I can describe it to anybody who doesn't have them, it's like emotional migraines. It's like something where it just comes on. It's a really horrible headache that is just packed with emotion, and it just lasts for some indeterminate amount of time. You just have to sort of sit through it. You can't really cure it.
This may be a good time to give advice, Scribe and SDA, for how you guys overcome the kind of anxiety and depression to people maybe in the chat.
You have to look at yourself, because when you have these major disorders like depression, bipolar, BPD, anxiety, you have to look at yourself and you have to go, okay, in what ways am I a piece of shit person? Because I guarantee you that there are behaviors that you exhibit that are destructive, not only to yourself, but to everybody else around you. And you have to look at your behaviors and you have to go, all right, what's fucking stupid and what's what you should actually do.
Self-improvement.
And you basically have to pretend to be normal, and you have to walk yourself through these situations, and you have to like consciously do it. And it takes a while, but at some point your natural inclination is to not, I don't know, like say I had borderline tendencies when I was a teenager. I wasn't diagnosed because basically borderline personality disorder is like you act like a deranged, depressed teenager, and when you're a deranged, depressed teenager, they're not going to diagnose you with that. But so part of like the inclination of borderline personality disorder is like to try and manipulate people into liking you. So making them feel bad for you, making up problems, making up sob stories. And so you have to stop yourself from doing that. And you have to be like, all right, how do I be a fucking normal person and not a ridiculous piece of shit? And it's difficult, but you have to do it. And once you do it, I will say the first time after you recover that you have a bad day and it's just a bad day, and that's why you're sad, that is like the best. That was like the best day of my life. I was so fucking happy. I was like, because my dad was like, what was wrong? And I was like, I'm having a bad day. This is great. This is awesome. I'm just having a bad day. So that's about like, that's what you have to do. And it's not easy, but it's doable.
Thank you, Occam's router. Sing it. Logan's milkshake brings all the.
You're not
boys to
singing.
the-
You're not singing.
You're right. I don't sing that. Monkey, I guess you'll have to sing it.
I can't sing that. I'll read it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says Logan's milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. He'd teach you, but he'd have to charge. Trouble for a sub?
I heard tone there. That was singing to a little.
I threw a little flavor on it, you know.
So as far as like advice, yeah, well, I mean, this is kind of what brought up the question in the first place, is that, you know, in order to combat it, I had to overthink it, because emotion is just raw instinct, whereas rationale is the only thing I was able to use to combat it. And so being able to take a situation as it comes to you, being able to think, okay, this is how much it actually deserves. All this stuff you're feeling is bullshit otherwise. You just have to put the baby in the crib and get on with your day. That was kind of how I managed it. And like SDA said, the first time that I had a bad experience and the emotion of it ended where it should have rationally, I was so glad that I'd come to a point where I could think clearly. And one of the things, and just for anybody else, one of the most unproductive things you can do when talking to somebody who's got problems like this is to assure them and say something like, oh, it's not that bad, or just get over it, or something else. A disordered mind needs order. And so if somebody's incoherent and freaking out at you, you stop them and you say, okay, first, I need you to calm down so I can understand what you're saying. Then tell me what's on your mind, and listen to what they're saying. And if they list off 5 things and 3 of them are things that will never be changed, like, you know, my relative died or something else, you just ignore those things, focus on the things that can be addressed, and help them work through resolving those things. Because that is the most productive thing you can do. Reassurance doesn't help. Helping reorder a disordered mind is much more helpful, because you're actually listening to what the issue is, even if it sounds irrational.
I would also say,
real quick, wait. Irate Prostate is really upset that people are giving advice here. Nobody's claiming to be a psychologist in this. This is what has helped them.
No,
So
no, this is not professional advice.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were
I'm a
bad
doctor.
off, go get professional help.
another
But
thing that I
maybe-
would say
Maybe
Sorry.
you'll hear something that'll help you here. That's all.
is
Go
when
ahead.
you're dealing with somebody who is behaving erratically and is incredibly depressed, you're going to be on the receiving end of those ridiculous destructive behaviors. And again, when you're mentally ill, your behaviors are destructive to both you and to other people. And it's important that everybody involved in those relationships understands that. So when somebody who's, say, mentally ill is constantly coming to you, exaggerating how many anxiety attacks they've had or something like that, one of the best things you can do is ignore them. Because
Don't feed the
it's
beast.
easy to try to get sympathy out of people that way. And it's kind of like you're basically conditioning them in a way. So if you give them attention every time they exaggerate something, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So if somebody keeps doing something, like, just fucking ignore them and don't reward them for behaving in ridiculous ways. I mean, it's because, you know, if you care about the person and you keep letting them come back to you for bullshit situations just for sympathy, they're going to keep doing it, and you're going to want to fucking stab them because they're kind of awful and depressing. And by the way, if you're worried about being abandoned because you keep coming to people making shit up, and, you know, if you're making shit up, you know you're making shit up, stop it, because people are going to abandon you because you kind of suck.
Listen, the best way to improve your mental health is to improve your physical health. You have to improve it. I think it's an underlying problem a lot of the times
Just
with
ask Vegan
physical
Gains.
health. What's that?
Just ask Vegan Gains.
Yeah, just look at Vegan Gaines. He is the model of mental health. Real quick.
Picture of mental health.
Well, he's
Real quick.
the extreme end. He's the narcissistic end of everything.
Well, I think it's his vitamins, actually. So real quick, I have a super chat I need to read here. Ara Kroon, all of my life was an issue like this till I took psychedelics. Till then, the pros made me worse. But that was just me. It's not for everybody. I've heard of people who've used psychedelics and that's helped them. That's not something I would recommend, but
Yeah.
it's something.
I've
heard
heard
I've heard a great study about psilocybin in microdoses.
right.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's how people would deal with PTSD. And
I went to I've
Like
only
it-
gotten a professional one time. It was after I started taking the medication and all the anxiety and stuff started to go away. I went to this therapist and I was there with her for like maybe 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, she kind of looks at me and says, I've been here for 2 weeks. Not really sure. Well, what are you trying to get out of this? And I looked at her and I said, I have no idea what kind of person I am without my anxiety. I just want to be able to talk through stuff with you, to have you tell me, in the absence of my constant everyday battle, what kind of person am I? Am I thinking through, when I'm talking to you, am I thinking things through incorrectly or less healthfully? Because I have no idea. I have no idea who I am when I'm not having this constant struggle.
So you mean
There's a
self-validation? Is that what you mean?
Kind of, because I mean, it's the old question, like where does the warrior go once there are no more enemies? It's like I've built up all this machinery in me to deal with containing and managing insanity, basically. What happens when that's not there for that machinery to operate on?
Physical exertion is what you need to do.
Well, no, what happened was I turned all that
There you go.
internal problem solving stuff outward, and now I do YouTube videos.
Do you know what community or what society in the United States has the lowest rates of depression?
Monkeys.
No, not my of people. No, the Amish.
The Amish.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
That is a fact. They have the lowest rate of depression, suicide, everything across the board.
All right,
No,
justified
this is-
Matitude. Thank you. A tip for Runty Monkey. You deserve it for dealing with vegan gains. And then from
for the record, I really did have a lot of fun during that. So
Trey Mecklemore. Thank you. It says it's neuroticism, sensitivity to negative emotion. It helps answer the question of, quote, how upset should I be over something anomalous happening, which doesn't have a universal answer in each situation. Right. And because there's no universal answer, it's sort of like one of those never-ending infinite regression type of things, depending on how far you go with it. Anyway, I didn't mean to take up the entire stream with that question, but it just came up today. This
was a good conversation. And the one thing I want to agree with something Gutenberg said here. I do believe part of it is that we do have the time to worry about this stuff now. That's not to say if you were a farmer in 1850 that you wouldn't have been kind of neurotic, but you would have been worried about different things. And like you'd have been worried about the crops. So you'd have been out there making sure they were getting done. And now you don't have to worry about the crops. So you have to worry about, fuck, I just sent a messed up email. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's the way our brains are actually supposed to work. We just have the luxuries these days where for many people, we have too much time to, there's nothing you're not going to replant the email. You know what I mean? So it's not that they didn't worry back then. It's just that when they did worry back then, there was actual physical labor that had to go get done. And now we just get to sit and think about it. That's how I see it.
Jesse just in the comments, the Amish do not marry their cousins. That is not true.
Nothing spells lovin' like marrying your cousin. Anyway, it should be chat time, I think.
It's past chat time, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, now's the time to throw them out there. We're actually going to be watching chat more closely now.
I heard my name.
Yeah, I said ask you about marrying your cousin. You can't marry your brother or your sister because your parents didn't give you one. So you gotta marry your cousin.
Ask SDA if marrying your cousin is right for you.
SDA, have you ever seen your cousin naked?
Oh, Jesus.
It reminds me of that Leslie Nielsen. Charlie, have you
was
seen
it Leslie?
Man naked?
It was the pilot.
Naked Gun.
No, that was Peter. That was Peter Graves. That wasn't Leslie Nielsen.
Oh,
Yeah,
Peter
yeah.
Graves.
He's like, so say, Tommy, you like gladiator movies?
I like gladiator movies. Yes.
Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
The grown man naked is my favorite line of that whole fucking movie.
It has to be.
It's just so wrong.
Oh, how many people? SDA, have you seen a Naked Gun or airplane?
A naked airplane.
I'm sorry, Leslie Nielsen got stuck in my brain and I went back and forth.
What?
Have you seen the movie Airplane?
Airplane.
No.
Looks like I picked them wrong. That is the greatest line. Sorry,
Nothing for you
I
here
picked it wrong.
says Do you think a modern community could be modeled after the Amish model? Well, there are modern Amish communities, but I mean,
What do you
Depends
mean
on
by
how you mean modern
Yeah.
community.
yeah,
They-
modern community.
They use modern amenities. I live within the Amish here. I'm surrounded by them. They use modern amenities. What they by proxy they use what's called the fancy Dutch, and they pay them to pretty much drive them around and use phones and all that kind of shit. So they circumvent their Amish ways by having other people doing it for them.
My crazy opinion wants to know when the wedding is between me and Sunky.
Oh, I don't know. You guys have to meet first.
Yeah. Maybe that'll happen at VidCon next year.
Well, there you go.
I'm going next year, I think.
I want to go next year.
Really? I'm gonna go next year.
Sinatra says he messaged me the other day. He was like, "Yo, dude, you want to go to VidCon next year?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." He's like, "All right, let's go to a hotel room." So we might go.
I'd share a hotel room with Gutenberg, just not mine.
Oh,
Yeah, we would.
Jesus.
Jesus, girl. So,
Just
Uh,
after she falls asleep, you have to let me in the room because I got to draw a dick on her face.
Oh, yeah.
we can draw multiple dicks in our face.
FD
There we go.
Swayze says, Ranting Monkey, have you ever been in a Turkish prison?
No.
Did you ever see that movie, Midnight Express?
A long, long time ago.
Oh, God, that's such a depressing movie. Oh,
It's a
God.
horrible movie.
It is. Oh, it's depressing.
Have you guys
Have
seen
any
that
of you
new Netflix documentary on the Gawker incident with Hulk Hogan?
I started watching it the other day. Yeah.
I tried to watch it the other. I fell asleep yesterday watching it, but I heard it's really fucking good.
Yeah, I have to. Have any of you seen The Dark Crystal, says Adam R. Yes, years and years ago, several times. Now they're making a sequel, I guess, on Netflix.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's a sequel television show.
I think it's a series. Yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah,
a.
yeah.
I don't think it's a one-shot movie.
Do Amish chicks have hairy armpits? I've never seen one. I've never seen a naked Amish armpit.
No, you have
No,
to see
I-
Rumspringa. Go find them on Rumspringa. You'll find out real quick.
I believe they do shave, but they wear dresses, so they don't wear
Yeah.
tube tops. I'm not 100%.
Gutenberg, why you no tweet no more, says Reverend Keck.
Dude, I tweet like every other day. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you were tweeting today, weren't you?
A little bit. I put out a little bit of the protester footage from the inauguration today. Some scrap shit I had laying around.
Let's
Tweeting that out.
see. The Eldritch God asked, does free will exist? Well, free willy exists. I don't know about free will.
That movie sucked.
Yeah, it did. Ranting Monkey, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Once.
And do you know what movie that is from?
That's from the original Batman movie.
Very good.
Well, not the original Batman movie. The original of the modern Batman movies.
Yeah, the Tim Burton Batman movie. All my Amish knowledge came from Weird Al. Yeah.
We actually have a lot of Amish up here, and goddamn, they stink in the summertime.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh,
they
I'm
do.
gonna get my eyebrows microbladed, and I'm not gonna vlog the actual thing, but I'm like gonna show you guys what it looks like before and after on my second channel.
What's wrong with your eyebrows?
My eyebrows are just like really thin, and I would just like them to be filled in more without me having to put makeup on.
So you could go Hispanic and just start drawing them on like a clown.
Well, I fill them in with powder, but there's a way to. But there's like semi-permanent makeup that you can do that looks good.
I have
I'm
never
excited.
fucking worried about my eyebrows.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. My thing about like cosmetic procedures like that is like I'm already pretty, but like I could be drop dead gorgeous all the time. So like, why the fuck not?
If only they did this to me.
Jesus Christ, that one.
Let's see. Ranting Monkey Phoenix asks, Vegan Gains argues for animals and humans being treated equally, yet he doesn't think that killing animals should be punishable. So by that logic, other animals are inferior to humans, ? Hypocritical, ?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, see, here's the thing. I actually grilled him on this for a little while because I don't understand if he considers slaughtering animals to eat them to be murder. I don't understand why he wouldn't just say, yes, I think everybody who eats meat should go to prison, because that's what we do to murderers. We throw them in jail. And I have a theory here, because he absolutely would not answer that fucking question. I think he actually believes we all should be thrown in jail. But even he knows that's too fucking crazy to throw that idea out there, because if he throws that out there that everybody who eats meat should go to jail, then a whole lot of people who are, you know, like on the fence with him go, no, fuck you. You actually are crazy. That's just my theory.
Wait till I start.
Lux,
Sorry. Wait till I start
ahead.
putting my hunting pictures here in December. My deer hunting pictures. Wait for that.
Do you experience synchronicity? Have any ever affected a decision or choice you needed to make? This is a question for everyone.
What do you mean synchronicity?
See.
I mean, I know what the word means. I don't know what the context is in this.
I want to say it's...
Okay, synchronicity is a concept first introduced by analytical psychologist Carl Jung, which holds that events are, quote, meaningful coincidences if they occur with no causal relationship yet seem to be meaningfully related.
Yes, I have. Whether or not that's actually exists, I don't know, but yeah, I've had coincidences that seemed way too meaningful just to be coincidence.
Yeah, I've had, like, it's been my experience, weirdly, that like I'll have some person, some ghost from my past suddenly contact me out of the blue for whatever reason. And then 3 more will happen within a quick succession of each other, like people I haven't heard from forever, old girlfriends or something. And I'll just be like, it's just one of those weeks, I guess. That's happened before several times.
Well, the way I met Lady Monkey is kind of like that. I've told you before that my girlfriend introduced us. Yes. I walked into biology class and I didn't know anybody there very well, but I knew one guy kind of that sat at the very, very last table. And so I was, all right, fuck it, I'll sit by him. And it just so happened that the girl who would become my girlfriend sat at that same table. And if I had not decided to sit there that day, then my entire life would be different. Literally everything would be different.
Yeah, if I hadn't been on Minds.com that day and Irate Bear had invited me on that stream, I might not be doing YouTube now. That kind of thing. Yeah. And
it's just a little, like, literally that moment changed my whole life. And there is no real reason for me to sit there, because the guy that I knew, he knew me. I had just moved back to Virginia Beach. We'd moved to Norfolk, Virginia for a while. And he remembered me, and I saw him in gym class earlier. And so, like, I didn't even really know him. I didn't remember him from when I'd lived in Virginia Beach before. So, like I said, the entire thing is just like, what would my life be if I said, fuck it, I don't know that guy, I'm going to sit somewhere else.
Right.
Anyone else?
I don't give a shit about however the fuck you say it. Just
synchronicity.
Don't care.
As a writer, I would think that would be very important to you.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, I know that I overthink stuff, and this is part of it. Is it existential? Is that how you fucking say it?
Yes, existential.
I don't think about stupid shit like that because it's fucking depressing.
Why is it depressing?
I don't know. It always like leads. I just know that I naturally go to depressing bullshit, so I just don't.
Literally, the only reason I'm talking to you is because I sat in that chair that day. My whole life would be different right now.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
That's not depressing. Well, it is for me, but it's not. It shouldn't be for you.
Yeah, I would never have met you guys like I said, if I hadn't been on Minds at that moment, at that time, and saw Irate Bear's invitation. Anybody want to come on a stream with me? Back when he was like at 300 subscribers or something. I never would have gone on there. I never would have met the guy. I never would have been convinced, well, hey, if this guy can do it, anybody can do it. So
ringing endorsement for our good friend Irate Bear.
I love Irate Bear.
Me too.
Hopefully he still loves me.
What other questions do we have? I have a question.
Okay.
Gutenberg. Did he leave?
No. Well, he's still on the stream. Maybe he's playing with his ants.
Sorry, I'm back. What's up?
How come you're not always like this when you're on the stream?
I realized I gotta tone it down a bit.
If you were always like this and you occasionally said, "Hey, can I come on?" I'd say, "Yeah." But
Yeah, I know. I get a little savage at times. It's
you
me.
do.
I do. I get savage. I'm
And
trying
you know
to tone
what?
it down a little bit.
I actually love you because I can say that to you right to your face, and you're not going to get offended by it because you're a pretty
Self-aware.
self-aware guy.
Yeah, I'm fairly self-aware. Yeah.
But yeah, I've really I've enjoyed having you on today. You've been really cool with the conversation. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Let me translate that. I have not ruined the stream.
You've not been a dickhole tonight. No.
Yeah.
No. I understand. I realize you guys are trying to do a serious thing here, and I don't want to come on and just start being a fucking dick.
But I do. I want you on like after streams when you're being a dick sometimes because that's funny. I do think you're funny when you're like that. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I sometimes I rewatch it and I laugh at myself because I have no self-awareness. Like I think some of the shit I say is pretty funny, especially when I'm drinking. But I mean, I understand you guys are trying to be a little more serious. You guys aren't messing around, so you know.
Adam R asks, "Hey Monkey, how are you doing with your anti-smoking?" And for the first time, I actually have a decent update on that. The whole time we were out today, I didn't smoke, and usually I pack some and take them with me.
Yay.
I did take my vaporizer with me, my little vape pen, and just use that, and it worked out fine. Even usually after I eat, I really need a cigarette, and so I was hitting that, and I was fine. So progress. I'm still smoking, but progress.
You got
Yeah.
Stacy Gardner says, "Hey, Monkey SJ Scribe." Hi, Stacy. Anti Swagger says, "How did you guys meet Gutenberg?" I'm pretty sure it was an Irate Bear stream.
Irate Bear.
Irate Bear.
Yeah, God, fucking like what, months and months and months ago.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was
back
back. It was last year, last
Had to-
fall.
Had to be almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
We were all probably at like 100 subs or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when Gutenberg and I fell in love. It was great.
Oh.
Motorboat.
Onwards and upwards. Yeah, thank you. I'm working on it.
Probably last call. We got 4 minutes left.
Yes. Last call, guys. Questions?
Last call. What do you got for Gutenberg? Let's go.
Yeah, ask Gutenberg. He hasn't been here for a while. Ask him questions.
Yeah.
You can even ask him something horribly inappropriate.
Oh, I wish you would.
Stacy says I was noticed by Senpai.
Mm.
Yay.
Gutenberg, have you had any more like Strange Man come on and jerk off on your streams?
No, I haven't streamed in a while.
That's true.
The kind of money I see you guys making now, though, I feel like I fucking should be. Holy shit.
SDA, did you finally pick a title for your first book? No, I can't figure out something that I don't fucking hate.
Desolation's not good enough?
No, I don't like it anymore. Like I liked it the one day, and now I'm just like fucking stupid.
What's the longest relationship you've had? I've been married to my wife for it'll be 24 years here in 2 months, and we've actually been together for about 26.
Let's see, 25 years with my right hand.
Oh, that's right, Scribbles. You're only a couple months older than I am, right?
Yeah, we're 79 babies, you and I.
Yeah, we are.
So that's 79 spring babies.
Best year ever. Now,
oh, by the way, happy birthday, belatedly, happy 38th birthday.
Actually, it's coming up in what is it? 6 days.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Happy birthday soon.
Happy early birthday, then.
Thank you.
I thought for some reason I thought you already had your. I thought you had your birthday in June for some reason, but whatever.
Ooh, I got a question. Why am I a dirty Jew? I'm not Jewish, but if I was, I would be a dirty Jew. I, however, do have a dirty Jew gnome that lives in my stomach.
Oh no.
That affects all my financial decisions. So you're sort of correct.
What's your gnome's name?
I totally forget.
Okay.
I'm sure you're going to correct me on it though. If
I thought it was like Weinstein or something.
Yeah, it was like a Dr. Finkelstein or something.
Finkelstein.
Finkelstein or Stein. He makes all my financial decisions for me.
Yeah.
He does my taxes too.
When did you lose your virginity?
14. We had a stream about that. I'm sure you could go back and watch it.
Scribe, how closely do you resemble your image? I guess you're in the avatar. Not at all. I have dark brown hair that's relatively not flat, but like not poofed up like that. I do not have a handlebar mustache.
Well, what kind of haircut does Scribbles have? Describe your hair.
I don't know. I don't
Like
know
Louis
hairstyles.
Skolnick?
Yeah. How do you get your hair cut if you had to?
It's just a regular old haircut. Haircut's not a flat top. It's just like a business cut. Like if you had an old fashioned business cut, that's basically what it is.
Old fashioned business cut.
Yeah, I don't really have another way to put it. You know, it's I don't grow my hair long. It's not shaggy. If I don't do anything to it, it'll kind of poof up and get curly. So I guess it could look a little bit like the guy on the thing, but not quite. Yeah, no, I'm not a blonde, redhead, strawberry blonde guy.
So like an old what's that guy in the Wall Street movie back in the day?
Oh, you mean like Charlie Sheen?
No. The other one, the
Michael Douglas?
Michael Douglas.
Not slicked back like that, but just I guess just a haircut. I don't know. I someday I'll do a cam reveal and you'll all see what I look like. But
yeah, that's not. All right, I got a couple questions here. Can you run a mile? Yeah, I can run a mile, dude. And then here, what's your favorite color? I like dark blue. Dark blue.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I like blue and pink.
All right, here's another question.
Guys.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where'd you go?
Next question.
Mongolia. Oddly enough.
Why the fuck? Okay, no, that's question for another time because we are past the end of the stream here, guys. Chat, pleasure as always. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you for the donations, and thank you for your support. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Best audience on YouTube. Swear to God.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Goonberg, thank you so much for joining us. It's been I can say this with no humor in my voice. It has absolutely been a pleasure tonight.
Do you know what that means? You've been a dick every other time you've been on.
Not every other time. Most of the
It's
time.
most of the time.
I think there was one other where you weren't a dick. Scribe, SDA, a pleasure as always. Thank you guys so much. Everyone, your life makes me sad. See you next time.
bye, guys.
Bye, guys.